Now let's talk about how the empowerment of the Holy Spirit, the infilling and the empowerment of the Holy Spirit is necessary. It's not an option. It's not like you look at the menu and you look at the main items and then there's all the a la carte stuff that you can order extra. It's not an extra. It's not an add-on. It's not like what we would call back in the days when you used to kind of like special order cars. It's not an accessory, you know, like air conditioning. Anybody remember when air conditioning in cars used to be an option or accessory? Now it's standard. What we're saying is the empowerment of the Holy Spirit is standard. It comes as standard equipment for all those that the Lord our God shall call unto himself. I'm using Peter's language in Acts 2:38. Luke chapter 24 says, stay in the city until you're clothed with power from on high. I want you to notice that this is a command of Jesus. It's not a suggestion. It's not optional. Stay in the city until you are empowered, until you're equipped with this infilling of the Holy Spirit. That's his obvious reference. And there are connect points between Luke 24 and Acts 2. In Acts chapter 1, Jesus tells his disciples, and we're going back to that passage that we looked at before. We're discussing this now in the context of this experience, this power, this infusion of God's divine enablement being necessary and not optional. Jesus says, don't focus on date setting. Don't focus on trying to figure out all of the ins and outs of the end of time and the signs of his coming. And instead, but you, verse 8, but you will receive power. Notice what Jesus is de-emphasizing and what he's emphasizing. It's not about you being able to number crunch and figure out all of the events of the end of time and when those are going to happen, but you will receive power when the Holy Spirit has come upon you. That's Jesus' charge to his disciples. You will receive divine enablement, divine infusion of supernatural enablement or power when the Holy Spirit has come upon you, and you will be my witnesses, both in Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, uttermost parts of the earth. In other words, this is not a matter of getting your union card punched. This isn't about getting in the golf club. This is about being empowered to serve, to be more effective in our service, in our representation of Jesus. This is standard equipment then. It is for Joel, it is for Jesus, it is for Peter. It is for this first century, this first generation church. The empowerment of the Spirit is standard equipment for the believer. So much so that when Paul gets to Ephesus in Acts 19 and he sees some disciples of Jesus there, he said, did you receive the Holy Spirit when you believed? In other words, you can't roll without this. It's never been God's intention for us to roll without this infilling of the Holy Spirit, this empowerment of the Spirit.